Hello and welcome to this fingraphs.com podcast on Dukascopy TV. Today we're going to look at cryptocurrencies and specifically at Bitcoin and Ethereum. We'll start by looking at a mosaic on our fingraphs.com platform, which includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, but also the Nasdaq and gold. Indeed, we believe that the Nasdaq and gold are interesting to consider the dynamics of Bitcoin and Ethereum. On the upper line, you have the weekly graphs, so the longer-term graphs. On the lower line, you have the daily graphs, so the slightly more shorter-term, medium-term graphs. What we could say is that for now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are back in an uptrend, and we do believe that they will probably make new highs next year. Nasdaq is in a similar position and still pushing higher and probably also towards targets into next year. On the other hand, gold has corrected down over, since August 2020 and seems to be on the opposite side of these trades. Our view is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are priced as very much as growth assets and risk-on assets, while gold is much more defensive and is on the opposite side of this trade. We could also see this on the daily graph with the strong consolidation or correction that we saw in Bitcoin and Ethereum this spring. A similar correction here on the Nasdaq 100, while gold was bouncing here into the month of June. Since then, these trends have reversed. Bitcoin has resumed its uptrend, Ethereum also. The Nasdaq has continued higher and gold has been moving lower. Interestingly here, we believe the downtrend in gold may be coming to an oversold position over the next few weeks. You can see the risk index here being very oversold. There's still some risk to the downside in terms of targets over the next couple of weeks, but by late August, early September, we probably expect another rebound of gold, perhaps into the fall. The consequences of such a rebound could be that at some point, Bitcoin and Ethereum do see another leg of consolidation down before accelerating higher into next year. Now let's have a look at the specifics of both cryptocurrencies. First, at Bitcoin, we could see very strong uptrend still with upside targets above this spring's highs into next year. A consolidation that did reach an oversold condition here in July and has since been rebounding quite strongly. We're getting towards a point where our envelopes are touching each other again, which means that the bounce may be getting exhausted. If we look at the hourly graph, we are getting towards a point where our envelopes are touching each other, where our targets have been met, and our oscillator is slowly reversing down. Our view here, and making a parallel with gold, which is still under pressure for another couple of weeks, is that this rebound could probably last into late August, early September, and then see a new period of retracement into early fall. We don't believe that it will make new lows because the uptrend is still very, very strong. So we would expect some downside retesting, base building into late Q3, early Q4, and then the resume uptrend we were talking about here into next year and towards new highs. Looking at Ethereum, we have a very similar scenario. We can see that we're still in a very strong uptrend. We believe that we will reach new highs by next year. We also had a consolidation here, not quite as oversold here, but a strong reaction since. We're getting towards the point where our envelopes are touching each other, so we're getting towards a bit of stress at the moment in this rebound. The hourly graph has come to a point where it is in stress again. We reached its targets. The risk index is overbought. We are in a position where risk-reward is getting a bit exhausted here. So similarly to Bitcoin, we would probably expect Ethereum to hold up into late August, early September, perhaps attempt a move slightly higher, but then correct down into late Q3, early Q4, possibly and most probably without new lows, and then to resume higher in line with the weekly graph into next year and new highs. Thank you very much for your attention, and we wish you a very good week in trading.